Hey guys, Curtis here with you today. Today I'm going to go over these two different toenail clippers. Well, I usually call them when they're bigger, but it just says here, clippers. But we have two different ones. I picked these two to kind of go side by side because this is one I purchased a while back and I really enjoy it. And just based on the appearance of the pictures, this one looks very similar. So I got this one so I can have a little comparison, see which one I like. And if they're the same, then I win either way. I get two things I enjoy, but maybe this one will be better. Who knows? But first, I'll go over this one. The brand on this, I'm not really sure how. I'm not really sure how it's spelled. Really, it's in cursive. Looks like VANWIN, maybe VANWIN. But I'll show that up there so you guys can. Your guess probably better in mind than what that actually is supposed to be. But there's the name brand of it. This did come in this nice little case here, a little kind of, I guess, leather. And I am missing one of the pieces that came with. We just misplaced or lost it. But it also came with a, I guess, like a fingernail file. And it was kind of clear, but it was a very good file. And maybe, it was probably sitting in a drawer somewhere, but I couldn't find it before this video. But it did come with this also. But this is the actual fingernail clipper here. So one of the minuses of this, I'll go over that first. Again, I love this one, so this is definitely not a big deal for me, but it's one of the negative comments on it, or negative thoughts here, is that this kind of flops around. I mean, that's just the way that it is. So whenever you're ready to use this, you have to get this little, try to make sure the camera can pick it up, this little piece right here, I think you can see it, and fold that down, and there's your kind of spring-loaded thing. So now it'll function just like your normal fingernail clippers. You squeeze it and you let go, that little spring will push it out. Again, not a huge deal, but then just something to point out that is kind of odd. Most fingernail clippers are just, you swivel it around, you open it up, and it's all spring loaded. This one, again, that just kind of flops around a little bit. Again, not a big deal. I absolutely love these. They do a fantastic job, but that's just something to point out. That's just a little bit odd or weird. But you see here, you have this little kind of decorative spot that actually allows your finger to kind of sit in there nicely. So whenever you're giving it the old squeeze, and you see this opens up very wide. I'm trying to get a camera angle again. But you see that's a huge opening, and that is great for your toenails especially. So I absolutely love these. They do a fantastic job. All right, so now let's get the new ones out here that I just got in. So the name brand on this, again, this is going to be a guess for me, but there it is so you guys can see it. But my guess would be, actually I know how to guess that, SZQHT. I guess these companies like to make their names extra fancy, keep you guessing. Let's see if I can pry this thing open. All right. And this does have a little scanner thing on it. You scan that with your phone to probably takes you to their website, something like that. On the side of it, sharp and clean cut, unique aerodynamic, I'm messing up that word here, but unique design, ideal for thick nails, premium stainless steel. Again, this sounds like it's going to be pretty much the same thing that the other one is, but all right, well, first thing to point out, this has also a pretty neat little case. This one here has this kind of little leather, almost billfold type look. This is a hard plastic thing here. Now this, I thought that'd kind of screw on. That just sits there. That'd have been a nice little feature to make that actually screw on. Then you can use this for something else. But just having the lid sitting there makes it a little bit less likely to use it for other things. But it is what it is. You're not really buying this for the case. It comes out in this nice little bag here. All right, so let's see what we got. So little drawstrings. And this is more likely how you're going to be stored in your cabinet. So that's more fair comparison here, kind of that compared to this. Again, I don't think that's going to be a deal breaker for anybody. And what this comes with, so here is, I guess this is going to be your fingernail file. And again, I don't have the other one to compare this part to. Again, it was clear. This does have a little sticker on here. That's different. But, so this is what the fingernail file looks like. Normal kind of standard stuff, a little bit of light texture there. This is all smooth, nice and thin. All right. So now the actual clippers themselves, get this one up so we can just get immediate side-by-side comparison. So this is the new one. This is the one I haven't gone over yet. So there's the first look. They are not identical. So this one here is a little bit longer, it looks like. Yeah, a little bit longer on the bottom, kind of a sharper point. And the actual hole itself is a little bit more kind of pretty, I guess. But I'm sure pretty is not probably the right word there, but you know, it has a little bit different design. This one here is pretty straightforward. This here has a little bit prettier look to it, at least in my opinion. Going over to the back, this has a little divot here so your finger can kind of fit in there, where the new one here, it just has another hole. Kind of is going to serve the same purpose, but again, just a slight little visual difference. As far as the actual part here, this looks like it is going to function the same. It has this little loose piece that has to go down in order for it to work normally. All right, but very similar. Actually, I do almost feel it. Yeah, I do feel maybe a hair of a difference here. Like whenever I squeeze it, I almost feel like this one has a little bit, not a massive difference, but maybe a little bit more kind of maybe torque to it, a little bit easier to kind of go. And that makes sense, as this is a hair longer on the bottom end, but nothing significant. You know, it's not really something that would make me choose this one over this one. The actual mouse here, you can kind of see they look the same. Well, actually, this one here does open up more. And I'm not squeezing either one. That's just where they naturally sit. So maybe a little bit. Yeah, I'd say this one opens up just a hair more. So there's a small difference there. So this one opens up a little bit more, and because it's a hair longer, it does seem to be like you'd have a little bit more oomph to your squeeze there. So again, there's the differences. I would still recommend either one here. Again, I love this one. I've had it for a while. This one, to be completely honest, I think I'm going to like it a hair more. Again, kind of personal preference. Again, just being a hair longer, I feel like I got a little more oomph. The mouth opens up just a little bit more. This one, I do kind of like the little packaging better, but again, that's definitely not going to make me choose it. But again, I definitely love this one. Again, there's nothing negative to say about this. I've had this one for quite some time now. But there's a difference, guys. So I hope somebody out there found this video useful, and thank you guys for watching.